I'm going to record this anyway, and I don't know how the fuck it's going to turn out, but this is essentially testing the first ever Rantcast recording with myself, and I have a special guest, Corey, with us.
It's your boy Corey.
With me. The
Super fucking awkward, right?
It is, actually. It is.
It is really awkward.
I'm used to Rianne doing all the hosting stuff. This is going to be really weird. However, Corey,
do we not have anyone we can call in with expertise? Do we have no one we can be like, excuse me, how do you openly host?
There's no like 50-50 or ask the audience or phone a friend. However, Corey.
Yo.
You messaged me the other day.
I did.
With very
true shit right here.
This is true shit. I'm going to talk to him, Cora. This is going to be... this is going to be, hopefully, a good recording, because you've decided to message me with various subjects we could talk about today. The first subject...
I have plenty of subjects.
Over the various years we've known each other, we have ranted about a lot of things, which is why I feel like me wanting to do this with you is the correct possibility and the correct choice.
Amen.
So for the first subject, I'm looking forward to this one because there's a lot to talk about here, is HD remakes.
Now, okay, right, so...
right, talk to him.
Fuck this, right? Okay, so there's two ways to go about HD remakes. There's the way I like, which is to go back and not fucking touch a goddamn thing, make it look slightly less shit, and give me my fucking game, right? The Metal Gear Solid HD remake by Blue Point Games is like the perfect example. A shining star in how to make fucking HD remakes. You just make it look better and keep it identical, right? That's fair enough.
Yep.
It almost sounds fucking easy. Like, I'm sure there is a lot of difficult things.
True.
I know, right? I wanted to play Metal Gear again. I got it again. I could play it on my Vita, play it on my Xbox, play it on my PlayStation. I could play it anywhere I goddamn well want, right? But it's when there's unnecessary changes. Now, with talk of Onimusha, which is one of my favorite series of all time, getting a HD remake.
Yep.
This bothers me. It bothers me fucking immensely.
You see, Corey, tell me how you really feel. I feel like it's a therapy session now.
I do. I feel like I should be laying on a very comfy chair with you, being like, "How does this make you feel?"
Yeah, I feel like I should have like a noteboard and some glasses on. I can kind of do half that, but I don't have a webcam, so people won't even fucking notice. So, right. So, bad HD remakes.
So Silent Hill HD remakes, yeah.
Right.
I'm just gonna jump straight fucking into this.
Go for it.
So I wanted to revisit Silent Hill 2 and 3 because they didn't do the first one again, and that's probably for the better because the first one, it doesn't hold up as well as I'd like it to. That's fine. It's a PS1 game. Everyone's face looks like a fucking cube. I don't give a shit.
True story.
You know what I mean? It's perfectly fine the way it is. If I want to go back, I'll download it off the PlayStation Store and just play it on my PS3. So I got it for the Silent Hill HD remake. Like immediately when I started playing, and it greets you with a menu, and I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I really appreciate, it looks like Silent Hill. That's what I want. I don't want fucking change. I don't want it different. And I know that there's a lot of people who are like, there's nothing wrong with change, right? Fuck those people. Those people don't know what they want in HD remakes. All I wanted was to play Silent Hill 2 and 3 again.
It's just one thing to ask.
It's not fucking hard, is it? I still have them on PlayStation 2. So, in all fairness, you could be like, well, go fuck yourself, Corey. Go play them versions. No, right? I wanted them HD for my beautiful 55-inch, ridiculously priced fucking bullshit TV that I paid far too much for.
True story.
So I went straight for Silent Hill 3 because that's the one I haven't played anywhere near recently.
Right.
Because after PT, it sort of relit my love for Silent Hill. Whole reason I got the two games was because I was just thinking I wanted a horror game again, and two of the all-time greatest, and I still have whatever, I think it's the director's edition of Silent Hill 2, and I went through that, and I still have Silent Hill 3 somewhere, but
somewhere lost.
Enough of a fucking history lesson. Let's just chat about this shit. So I was playing Silent Hill 3, and immediately there is something wrong, because in the opening cutscene, I distinctly remember there's this fucking high-pitched noise, that's super screechy and creepy and terrifying. It really sets the tone for the game. Really fucking well. I urge you to just look up the intro cutscene for the game.
Right.
Like, it's so fantastically done, and it really shows off the game's sort of style and how dirty and grimy everything is. And instead, it's replaced with like weird wailing singing.
Is it actually whale music?
It fucking sounds like a whale recorded it. Like they went to the ocean and was like, let's have this whale go into a fucking microphone.
It wasn't even the fact that people went and recorded a whale. It was the simple fact that a whale went and hit record.
Yeah, like a whale was in the studio. It wouldn't fucking surprise me. But yeah, so like I was thinking, that's weird. I wonder why they got rid of that. I mean, you have to go for a distinct effort to do that, right? Like it's a fucking pre-made cutscene. I mean, it is in engine, but it didn't like you'd have to go and digitally remove that. Surely, like it was a cutscene. You need to fuck with that. Why would you? That should have been an indicator of go and take this and throw this in someone's face at game and get my fucking money back. But no, trudged on, thinking like I just thought maybe I remembered it wrong. I absolutely didn't. Went back and played it. Found my fucking copy. Bullshit. So
can confirm. Bullshit.
So you've not played Silent Hill, right? You've not played any of them.
I've seen it, not played it.
So Silent Hill 3 starts off in this really grotty, rusty, grimy, like theme park. And basically what the beginning of the game is fucking awesome. There's these giant, like bloody stuffed bunnies, like everywhere. They're super fucking creepy and cool.
Just like Tesco.
Basically, yeah, like the exactly like Tesco. Think if Tesco, like if you were in a Snenton Tesco, that is exactly what it would look like. So basically what happens is you either get killed by an enemy or you go like you keep going until the point where you get hit by a roller coaster. Like that's inevitable, and then you wake up, it turns out it's all a dream.
Oh.
And
so it's a time where you have to lose.
Yeah, just to set up the game. Right. And everything was like the gamma seemed to be turned up far past what it needed. Like everything was a lot more bright. All the textures were far more, I don't want to say clean, but like it feels like the developers thought all the rust and cool, grimy textures were like a mistake because for some reason they chose to get rid of it. And when you get rid of it, that's the main fucking style of Silent Hill. Like all the atmosphere disappears when you get rid of stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like, imagine if, I don't know, a good example for you.
Set in daytime.
Yeah, it'd be like if you fucking had all the lights on in PT the whole time. It would be weird.
Or Outlast being set in the daytime.
Exactly, right? A good example, in Gears of War, it would be like if in the first game, like it was all like the bit with the fucking krill. Yeah. It would be like if that was set. Think of how grimy and muddy that is. Think of it if it looked more like fucking the city centre of like an actual town that's like not ruined. I think of it if it were like London streets.
If everything was still all built up and brand spanking new and
yeah, it feels like I have no fucking clue.
Everything looked like it was just polished 2 hours ago.
Exactly. It's okay. Like I mean, obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it's far too cleaned up, and it really does completely destroy the ambience. And as soon as, because like the first thing you do, pick up a knife, and as soon as you swing, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Because when I didn't install the update for it, so I didn't even know this was a thing. Like, I just wanted to go straight to playing. I was thinking, why do you need a fucking update for a game that's God knows how many years old? And like as soon as she, like, I remember the voices relatively well.
Yeah.
And she sounds like fucking. She sounds like Cher if Cher had a fucking mouth filled with marshmallows. The original voice actress wasn't the fucking greatest, and to be fair, all of Silent Hill's voice acting has been middling at best.
You had to think about that one.
I was trying the politest way to say it. It's never been great, is what I'm saying. The first game arguably has the best voice acting, which is quite depressing when you think about it.
That's something.
No, actually, Silent Hill 4's wasn't terrible. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't awful.
You have to go back and compare and contrast everything now.
Well, Silent Hill 4, I would say, is the worst, but I'd say the HD remakes have overtook it just purely on a basis of ruining what are essentially masterpieces. But yeah, so just to continue on this journey down memory lane of about 4 days ago.
So it's still fresh in your head?
Yeah, it's really fresh in my head. I still have the copy of the game. I haven't took it back yet.
I haven't
God
actually
knows
took it back yet.
I might burn it. I'm fairly sure it does
it's
contain something satanic.
just what I did with Assassin's Creed.
It's just I hated it. But to justify my hate. So after realizing that her voice for some reason just sounds like she's got some kind of crippling affliction to her mouth, I trudged on, and I'm not going to go on for too long. I didn't play it for very long because I was getting upset.
You're just starting to cry a little bit.
On the inside, like the only thing, I was just Sound of Silence playing in my head the whole time.
Wait, the Disturbed cover?
No, the Art of Garfunkel. It was hitting me hard. Just the whole time playing through the HD, because I played up until you have this really cool part that's really important to Silent Hill 3, I feel, where you walk down this long alleyway and go into the mall, which is when the game sort of shifts tones.
Right.
I gave up there because I thought, no, you've ruined my game. Fuck off. So there's a detective in the game. I can't remember his name, but I remember his original voice. Like he was the best voice actor in the original game in Silent Hill 3. In the HD remake, he sounds like the detective from South Park.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I'm a detective. Like I was literally expecting there to be a point of the game where he's like literally quoting South. It feels like they got fucking Matt Stone or Trey Parker or whoever does the voice to do it. It's really jarring from what is essentially the most serious game ever fucking made, possibly, for how dark and gritty it is. But yeah, also something I didn't know is that because they didn't get the original voices back.
Oh, that
now
explains the problem then.
Well, this is the weird thing. For Silent Hill 2, they did, but they also had a new dub because of fan outcry. For some reason, didn't feel the need to do it for 3, though.
Oh.
If you can explain why, I would love to hear it. Apparently it's because a voice actress died or whatever, so that's a reason to do the whole fucking dub again.
Makes sense.
You wouldn't even have to pay them as much. You're paying them for work they've already done. Like, I don't... Like, if you wanted to just do Heather's voice again, and that be an explanation, fine. But I feel that's not really a good enough reason to overdo the whole fucking voice cast. And at very least, you could find someone who sounds a little bit like Heather, or doesn't sound like she's gargling marbles.
That's a pastime, man.
It's just like, what a weird fucking decision to make. Like, why would you ever do something like this? Oh, what's your job? It's to remake a game. So what are you going to do? I'm going to overdub it, make it look like shit, and throw it at your fucking face and call you a cunt for buying it. No, I'm all right, thank you. I don't want any of this.
Make you pay full price for it.
Yeah.
To make you feel extra dumb.
I'm glad I didn't buy this new, because if I bought this new, I would be fucking, like, on another level of infuriated. Like, it would have gone back the same day, and, just because Silent Hill's, like, one of my absolute favourite series. And Christ, does it bother me. But yeah, so I basically got to a point right where the tonal shift of the game is and thought, I'll play Silent Hill 2. I'll see how Silent Hill 2 is. You know, they fixed the voices. They added the old voices.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, they just fucked with 3. I don't know why I was thinking this. Maybe I was just fucking scraping for hope in an endless world of oblivion where nothing's fucking worth it anymore. I can safely say, right, that is what happened. 2 did not make me feel any better.
No?
So,
what a shock.
Do you know when it's foggy outside? Like, I'll always get like a text from my mom being like, oh, it's like Silent Hill. When I think Silent Hill, first thing that comes to mind is fog.
Yep.
So, picked up Silent Hill 2. There's my fucking fog. Silent Hill 2 has no fog. They cut out the fog. And it's like, what? Why would you ever... Like, the pivotal thing that the series is... If you watch this first Silent Hill movie, like the best shot is when she's walking into town and she disappears into the fog next to the sign that says "Welcome to Silent Hill." The fog is just as iconic as Pyramid Head, just as iconic as the dog ending from Silent Hill 2, is just as iconic. Like, I get that the reason the fog was made in the first game was basically just a limitation of the PlayStation 1. They couldn't do a very good draw distance.
Yeah.
And then they thought, hey, the fog's quite creepy. Yeah, you're right. The fog is creepy. It's suddenly not creepy when I'm walking around just a desolate town. And you sort of realize that's kind of a big problem with 2. If it didn't have the fog, a lot of the walking to and from areas is quite bland because you can see enemies far away, so you can sort of just devise a plan to wander around them.
Yeah.
I played with the original voices because I didn't really want to torture myself with the dubbed voices. I didn't even attempt to know what they sound like. And I'm a glutton for punishment like that. Like, I would have happily done that if it wasn't one of my favorite games. Like, it'd be like going back and fucking dubbing Metal Gear Solid. It's like, yeah, just fucking leave it alone. What's wrong with you? There's no need. And Silent Hill 2 is just as weirdly cleaned up.
Right.
Basically, right? If you were thinking, oh, what I really want is a good dose of Silent Hill, I want to go back and play them, find them on PS2 in a bargain bin. Like, do anything you want other than get the HD collection. It's so fucking miserable of a time. All they had to do was remake 2 of the most like beautifully master-crafted fucking games. It's all that they had to do. But no, they felt the need to change it. I don't know, because I fucking researched the developer. There's a Hijinks Studio. So if you want to fucking find where to send your hate mail to, they're the cunts in charge.
Or glitter bombs or something.
I don't fucking care. Anything other than terrorism is fine with me. If you want to send them strongly worded letter after strongly worded letter, by all means, because
Corey's already sent 5.
Oh my god,
Today.
I'd love. Like, I just want to know why they did it. Like, who was this a directive from Konami? It wouldn't surprise me if Konami were like, yeah, what we need you to do is fuck these up as much as possible because I have no idea how to run a company.
Ruin memories.
That's what I mean. It's like, we need this series dead, like, as soon as possible because we couldn't just stop making them, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to give it to Hideo Kojima because it's not like he's ever done anything good for this company. So before we do that, can you fuck it up a bit, please, and really fucking nail in the coffin?
We've already lost Metal Gear. Can we ruin Silent Hill as well?
Exactly. Like, it really does feel like someone at Konami was trying to sabotage shit. But I don't know if that's true. All I know is Hijinks Studio. They made tons of mobile games. Oh god. And I think they made like some 3DS games every now and then. Like, they published a lot, I think.
Right.
But they were in charge of this. Like, I don't even know who they are. Like, it's not like Blue Point Games where they made something great and then I looked into other stuff they made and saw the other, like, because I think they're basically the kings of HD remakes at this point. They're absolutely who I would fucking choose for mine. I don't get why Konami gave Metal Gear to them but didn't give Silent Hill. It just seems baffling to me. I can't even, like, I just can't put it into my head as to why you would go, oh, the thing Silent Hill is known best for, the visuals, yeah, gotta go, mate. Fuck them right off. Get them out of my goddamn game. I didn't play 2 for very long because I was basically just wanting to fucking grind my fingers into my eyes and, I don't know, pour fucking sand into them until I was blind so I don't have to witness this anymore. It was fucking miserable. It's like, it's one of the very few games that I would say, like, do not even fucking waste your time checking out if you're curious because it's just not fucking worth it. It actually upset me to my core as a person.
And to those who have already checked it out,
unfucking lucky you got suckered like I did. If you bought it on release day, half from Konami.
That's 1 point to Konami.
Just, oh man. Like, I can't think of a developer more hateful to their fans.
Right.
Just, I know I'm late on this bandwagon because it came out a long time ago, but I saw it and I thought that is absolutely something I would love to engage in.
Just needs to be talked about.
Yeah. And I got nothing from it. All I got was I wanted to be happy and all I got was to be sad. And slowly on the inside it is indeed killing me. So can't wait for them to fuck up the Onimusha one.
I was going to say, so besides the Silent Hill HD remakes, which I essentially have gathered are a complete waste of time.
Did I not make that clear?
No, not really, but that's just something I'm gathering from it.
I can give you another half an hour worth of complaining if you like.
We may have to dedicate an entire episode just to Silent Hill. But other HD remakes that has upset, or essentially just caused you to say why?
The Jack and Daxter one.
Oh, really?
For the Vita, really, yeah. I'm a huge Jack and Daxter fan.
I'm gonna say this is interesting because I know for a fact you're a Jack and Daxter fan as well.
I when it comes to Ratchet and Clank or Jack and Daxter, it's Jack and Daxter for me every time.
Yeah.
I really want a fourth Jack game, so I got it on PS3 first, the HD remakes, and they're fantastic. First of all, like I can't say anything bad about them. So when I got them on the Vita as well,
so this is solely on the Vita.
Yeah, solely on the Vita.
Right.
They run fucking terribly. Jack 2, like, you get like 6 frames a second. It feels like you're playing a fucking Microsoft PowerPoint fucking slideshow. It is abysmal. The Ratchet and Clank ones run fine. Yeah, they run perfectly.
Yeah, I have them.
The Sly Raccoon ones run fine. They run perfectly. What was so hard about the Jack and Daxter ones that they just fucking destroy. Like in my Vita, I could feel it getting hotter in my hands as I was playing.
Oh god!
I was like, Jesus Christ, this thing's gonna fucking burst. Like
you look down, it actually transforms into a Samsung Galaxy Note.
That's what I mean. Like I was expecting the plastic to slowly start melting.
No, the plastic
and my screen to just be like, please stop.
It forms around your hand and seals your hand together, and you can't move it.
It was just like my Vita was getting hot. I feel like I was slowly starting to sweat from the heat giving off from a Vita in like a panic of whether it like I couldn't play Jack 2 for more than like 10 minutes like before it just became fucking unplayable. Like as soon as you get past that first part where you go out into the city, my god, you are battling with this thing. Jack 1 ran relatively okay. There were a few instances where it just sort of slowed down. I don't really have a problem. And I never got to play Jack 3 because I thought, good God, if Jack 2 can't be handled, has the one that looks even better and has a little more going on gonna fucking do?
So frame rate equals hardest boss fight in the game.
Do you know... oh, man. Because I specifically remember playing it on the PS3 because I don't think they did the PS3 version in this country. I think you had to order it from America, and I think I got lucky in finding it online.
Oh, really?
So I'd like someone to correct me on that, but all I've ever found of it is versions with the age rating on it, their ESRB system.
Right.
Which you can't trade them in this country.
Oh.
If they have that. So...
Oh, yeah.
Complete side note, like there's nothing to do with how the quality of it, but it ran perfectly, and the versions of it on PlayStation 3, it's like don't get it on handheld, unfortunately. Like get the Ratchet and Clank section, they're fine. All 3 of them are perfect.
Yep.
The Sly Raccoon games, all perfect. They run amazingly. And Metal Gear Solid on Vita is just as perfect. I've never had a problem with it, apart from maybe the Harrier fight had a little bit of an issue for a bit, but I mean, it didn't stop me, but that could just be that I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. I'm willing to power through it. It was no way near to the level of Jack 2, though, where it just became unplayable.
When it comes to the Metal Gear Solid ones.
Well, yeah, but also it didn't get to a point where I felt like my Vita was going to implode.
This is also true.
There was no point where I feared for my life while playing it. Except for when I was doing it while driving, but that's neither here nor there.
But that's completely irrelevant. I mean,
But usually, because I usually have great experiences with HD remakes. Usually, I'm a guy who is openly for HD remakes.
Yeah.
People are always like, oh, you know, why is this getting like when Final Fantasy X was getting remade, and everyone was like, oh, why not 12? It's because 12's shit, and so is your opinion if you don't think so.
That's a
fucking hate 12. 12 is a game I hate 12 more than 8. And 8 is a game that, as you know, drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's so strange to me how you can ruin something that was done on a previous generation, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask about your general opinions of HD remakes. I think you just answered it there. Really, it's just you're open to the idea of them.
Yeah, just give me the same game I fucking had. Like this, I quite like the Ninja Gaiden remakes, those on Vita, because they do change things up a bit. I would say stick to them on console if you want your purist experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what's the limit for you then? If you had an HD remake, what would be... If you had control over a HD remake, what would be your way of doing it? Would you just simply copy and paste, or would you add or take away a couple things?
if you're going to add things, don't make them mandatory. That would be a big thing that I'd say. Only upgrade the graphics. Do not change anything in game. And like, if you want to fix bugs, fix bugs.
Right.
Although I know a lot of companies prefer not to because they're like, it takes away from what the experience used to be, and that's also fine. I don't have a problem with either. Like the Zelda remakes on the 3DS, they kept a lot of glitches because they were like, this is stuff that a lot of the consumers find fun, right? And that's fine. I have no problem with that. But if you want to fix stuff, that's your prerogative as well. Like if you think that is something game breaking or that it takes away from the fun, basically, right? The best way to say it is just improve. Don't go fucking white knighting your game, fixing stuff that doesn't need to be fixed, and make sure it runs well. I can't believe that's something I have to actually say. Like, how did no one test Jak and Daxter on the Vita? Is beyond me.
Yeah, good point, yeah.
Like, it's absurd. And I've never seen a review or anything. Like, I remember checking Amazon, and it was like, it runs like shit, don't buy it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you get that for a lot of Vita games. It said the Ninja Gaiden ones didn't run great, but I never had a problem with them, ever.
Oh, okay, yeah, so it differs then.
Yeah, but like, no one was saying any kind words about Jak 2 and 3 on the Vita.
Right.
If you're going to remake stuff for handhelds, make sure the handheld can handle it,
Yeah.
I guess. Kind of a key fucking thing is make sure I can play your shitty game.
Yeah.
Don't ever fuck with the controls. Ever.
Fair point.
Like, that's the one thing the Silent Hill one did right, is that at least it played like Silent Hill. It just, unfortunately, made me not want to play it in general.
Huh.
All you should do is give it a fancy HD sheen.
Yeah,
like,
so it's mainly just improve the graphics, and if you are going to add anything, like you said, don't make it a mandatory thing.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy remakes are a great example, because it's like, they give you little things like, I don't know, you can have on 7. Something you didn't even fucking need whatsoever, but if you played Final Fantasy 7 and you just want to experience the story again, there you go. It's completely optional. It can be game breaking, but it's up to you to use it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I didn't use it when I first played through it on 7 again, and then when I went on my second save, I was like, absolutely, I'm just going to fucking destroy this game and fanny about to my heart's content. Because that's my prerogative at that point. Just don't fuck with something that works.
Yeah.
Simple. It can't be too fucking hard to do.
Don't fix what's not broken.
Exactly. Precisely.
So, that I think will cover the HD remakes, because I know you've done a lot of talking so far, but the next subject that you told me we want to talk about is a game that was cancelled, I would like to say recently. However, I don't actually know that much about it. I do remember seeing 1 or 2 trailers about it.
If this audience loves hearing me fucking waffle on.
Well, that's the whole point of this thing. It's just
solely me, unfortunately.
It's just
if you came from
way...
Michael, you're going to be upset.
Yeah, essentially. But obviously, the next subject we've kind of got is kind of on me at the moment, but obviously you're more than welcome to contribute as well.
Oh, by all means.
And obviously the way we want to do this is we want to talk about 1 or 2 maybe industry-related subjects. We want to talk about a particular game and then a particular character that just kind of just makes us upset. But
more than enough of all those.
Yeah, there's plenty. So I don't know necessarily much about this game next. The game called Scalebound. Now, this game was recently cancelled, and I remember seeing 1 or 2 trailers. I don't remember when. I don't remember when it was, but there was a couple of gameplay trailers and a couple of cinematic trailers, I believe. If memory
Pretty sure there was some at E3.
Yeah, it might have been actually when it was. If my memory serves me correctly, that's when it was, and that's what I saw of it. But you are quite strong about this subject of... I can't remember how you worded it. It was nobody cared about it when it was being announced and when it was being talked about, but as soon as it got cancelled, everybody wanted it back. So I was just wondering if you wanted to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So I was on Twitter when it got cancelled. I was just scrolling through. I'm a big fan of Platinum Games. Like, you know, anything they make chances are I will love.
And just for the audience, what have they made previously?
So
Just from the top of your
Vanquish,
head.
which is in like my top 10 games of all time.
Which is something I can share that agreement with.
Yeah, Bayonetta 1 and 2. I'm not the biggest Bayonetta fan. I do love Bayonetta. But yeah, they made both of those. But mainly in the sort of Japanese fighting game, like beat 'em up genre.
Yeah.
But Platinum Games, like what they are, is basically a group of high level Japanese developers who all came together to make games that no one in America wants to buy. That's essentially their niche is big Japanese games.
Simple description.
It is. It surprisingly is. They make fantastic games, but they don't tend to sell well in the West. So Scalebound, for those who are relatively uninformed, was going to be an Xbox One exclusive, which already kind of shows why this game was cancelled. They don't have much of a market in the West, and they're having it for a game console they can't sell for shit in the East.
Yeah.
So it was kind of destined to die, really. But they got really late in development. I don't know if they had finished or they were almost finished. I'm not entirely sure.
I think, yeah.
And then Microsoft basically cut the project. They were like, "Yeah, we're cancelling Scalebound." Now,
it's not the game itself.
No, the game doesn't particularly.
You
see, this is the problem. The game doesn't interest me, and I feel like it doesn't interest a lot of people. We didn't get to know terribly much about it. We got quite a lot of gameplay trailers. I never got to play anything of it, obviously. I don't know if many people did, but it wasn't set for any kind of sales victory. It wasn't set for any kind of public victory. Like, no one was looking forward to it. I've never heard anyone talk about it. If I brought it up to someone, they'd look at me and tell me, "Corey, what the fuck are you talking about? Get out of my face with this shit. I have an Xbox One. All I want to do is play FIFA." That's fine. You know, that's your prerogative. No one wanted Scalebound.
That's fine, dickhead.
Basically, yeah. It was like, "Excuse me, would you mind fucking off? Because what I want to do is play FIFA and not deal with you." So, and you know, I have no problem with people who just want to play FIFA. If that's your life, that's your life. The point is, what people who play FIFA don't want to play is Scalebound. Now, I'm not going to go 100% on that. I'm sure there was one person out there who was looking forward to Scalebound who also played FIFA out of 3 people looking forward to Scalebound. But
all the 3 people know about it, and 2 out of those 3 people are currently in this current video.
Well, that's what I mean. And you had to learn about it from me.
Exactly.
So just no one gave a shit about Scalebound. And as soon as it was cancelled, all I got was all the, you know, YouTube personalities who, once again, I'm not having a problem with. I'm not having a problem with anyone in particular, but just this sudden weird thing of, "Oh, it sucks that Scalebound was cancelled. Oh, Scalebound was looking really good." It's like, was it? Tell me something about it. I bet you fucking forgot about it until Microsoft were like, "Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, don't you miss it now." No, because no one knew what the fuck it was. No one gave a shit. Why is there this sudden, like, there was also a thing of people wanting to petition it to be put on PlayStation. Now, I'm not a game developer, but I'm pretty sure that's not how game development works. You don't just have your game cancelled and someone else, it's not like Netflix and Arrested Development. They don't just walk along and pick it up. Like, I'm pretty sure that Sony can't just go, "Yeah, we'll buy it off you," and then it'll make $1 bajillion because some wankers signed a petition. Or it's just this weird thing of, why do you want to save this game that no one had any interest in? You only have interest in it now that you can't have it.
Yeah.
It's this weird... I'm sure there is a word for wanting something when you can't have it. Whatever that word is completely describes the situation. It's not like PT, where tons of people played it, it got tons of coverage. Like, it had a playable fucking teaser. You got your hands on something of it. Everyone loved it and then was tore away from you.
Yeah.
No, this game no one knew about, no one wanted, tore away, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, but I wanted that. I was totally going to buy it, and it was definitely going to do well in the West. No, it wasn't.
Because at that point it's too late.
Exactly.
If you were interested in it, you needed to make that opinion clear at the beginning.
Precisely.
When it was shown off, whether it be at E3 or wherever, nobody talked about it. Everybody was already talking about what they've already previously shown, and then by the time they got over that, something else, they've completely, like, it was a previous subject, Scalebound was shown, whilst people were still talking about the previous subject, and then by the time they got over that previous subject, the next subject started. Like, everyone completely skipped over Scalebound.
If you look at any list of, like, top anticipated games for 2017, I guarantee you Scalebound is not on there. And if it is, it's because like there are fucking hipster douche who doesn't want to admit to wanting the next Call of Duty.
Because the person who is writing the list knew about it.
But like, this is what I mean. No one gave a shit. I can think of like, do you know what? When I think of obscure Japanese games that I wanted this year, the first thing my mind goes to is Yakuza. Yakuza is like the antithesis to how Scalebound goes, because Yakuza had a huge following in the West, sold okay, and then basically they said they weren't going to bring 5. So much fan demand for 5 came that we got it.
Yeah.
And then obviously now we get Yakuza 0 over here. That's understandable. No one wanted it in the first place. It's not like Shenmue where, you know, we had something of it, we knew we liked it, and now it's because, like, for all intents and purposes, I wasn't looking forward to it because I thought it looked pretty meh.
Right.
I know that's unfair to say because I haven't played it, but it, you know, it was trailers. It was supposed to get me to want to buy it. I wasn't going to buy it. No one was going to fucking buy it. It wasn't winning anyone over. Why mourn something no one fucking wanted or cared about?
Yeah.
It seems like a waste of energy when you could be going, oh, Platinum games are free. I wonder if we'll get Vanquish 2. Or,
which we need.
I don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or Bayonetta 3. I'd be happy with a Bayonetta 3. The Wii, you know, the Wii U's just died off. We've got the Switch coming. Fucking Bayonetta for it. I'd love to play. I'd love to have some things make me want the Switch. Do you know what I mean?
Have a Bayonetta 3. Have a Bayonetta trilogy.
Exactly. I don't know. Give them a shot at a Devil May Cry game.
Yeah.
Give them a shot at literally fucking anything.
Platinum making a Devil May Cry game.
Like, can you imagine, right? Like, think of all the great series Platinum could touch. Platinum wanted to make a Berserk game. I would love to have seen that. They wanted to make a Kill la Kill game. I wanted to see that. Apparently, they wanted to make like a fighting game of Danganronpa, which I don't know how they would have gone about that, but I would have loved it. You know, like all this cool stuff of obscure series that could continue, or obscure series that they could develop new that look far more interesting than Scalebound.
Right.
Scalebound, to me, feels like a pitch that should never have got greenlit. And I have no idea why, of all people, they chose Microsoft to have an exclusivity deal with.
Yeah.
Microsoft can't market themselves to Scalebound's audience for shit. And Scalebound wasn't going to be the one game to sell to the Eastern market for Xboxes.
Yeah, because it automatically said, like, well, why wasn't this on PS4?
Precisely.
Because that's what it dawned on me. Was like, this should have been a game for the PlayStation 4.
It would have worked on the PlayStation 4 more.
Sense to.
I mean, either way, I probably wouldn't have got it because I just wasn't interested in the game.
Yeah.
And I feel that a bit of my animosity comes off because it's like, I know it's not fair to say, oh, well, I wanted this and you're giving me this. But it is kind of a situation of Platinum can do better than what Scalebound was anyway. I'd rather have Platinum work on projects that they know people want, or that they can surprise people with, that are a lot more interesting. Scalebound getting cancelled is a good thing for Platinum, because I'm sure they already got paid for it. And I'm sure that, you know, no matter what's going to go on now, they can move on to greener pastures with a company that won't cancel their games at the last minute.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Sony.
And I'm looking at Vanquish.
I just want Vanquish too.
I share that exact same love.
It's just like, I know I'm sort of beating a dead horse at this point, but would you really have, like, if you look up a trailer for Scalebound and say, I would play this over Bayonetta 3, or I would play this over Vanquish 2, or any Platinum work.
Nothing over Vanquish 2.
I know, right?
I just want Vanquish 2.
Just let them do something more worthwhile than a game with a button to change to a dragon's point of view.
Yeah, pretty much. So, 2 subjects down and 2 to go. We have a character and a game left.
Gotcha.
The character that I think will be, or the character that generally just makes me upset. Now, it's one character that spans over multiple games. However, the character who's done okay until the 3rd game it's in. And the character I'm talking about is Ezio from the Assassin's Creed games. However,
I feel this pain.
However, this isn't spanning all 3 of the games. Is it 3? Yeah, it's in 2, Brotherhood and Revelations. Yeah, 3. It's not a character that I have a problem with in Assassin's Creed 2. I actually kind of liked the character in Assassin's Creed 2.
He was the best character. I think he's my favorite character in the series. For him in 2.
Yeah, I liked Altair. I did like Altair, admittedly, because of he was a good character to introduce the series with. I wouldn't have liked. I don't think I would have liked Assassin's Creed if they introduced it with Ezio, and I definitely wouldn't have liked it if they introduced it with Connor. However, I did like the character Ezio because he was something different from Altair, completely different, and it was great. Especially after I played Assassin's Creed 1 for various occasions and multiple times. I don't even want to know how many times I've played Assassin's Creed 1 or Brotherhood or whatever. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is easily my favourite game so far of the entire series still.
Well, after Revelations, I gave up. So Revelations just shut me out of the series.
Well, I think it goes Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3. And in those...
then after that, I feel we didn't care anymore.
1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3. So there's 5 games. And in those 5 games, there are 3 individual characters. You've got Altair for Assassin's Creed 1, Ezio for 2, Brotherhood and Revelations, and Connor is introduced in Assassin's Creed 3, which is the 5th game. Altair, good starter. Ezio, good second, and in Brotherhood, great. I loved it. However, it's Ezio in Assassin's Creed Revelations that frustrates me. The reason is, and this is kind of just about because of the game in general, but the character just feels so out of place. Because he is obviously an Italian who then goes over to what I believe is Constantinople.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He's in the Ottoman Empire. And it's just so weird how, and this is simply the sole reason, is because he then finds a woman who then starts to get attracted to said woman, who just happens to be the only fucking other Italian woman in the entire fucking city.
Well, obviously.
And
Italians can sniff each other out.
They can sense each other. They have some sort of spider sense, a heat vision. Their fucking eagle vision can apparently sense other Italians.
To be fair, that's not even the most aggravating coincidence with the character, let alone in the series. But I do completely understand what you're saying.
It's so weird, and the problem is that he's I understand that he's getting old, and I understand now he wants to try and go to where it all started, because that's his main point. That's the reason why he's there. He wants to go back to He wants to go to Constantinople to try and find stuff. And
that is kind of the name of the game.
Stuff. And then eventually at the end of the game he finds everything and he goes over to what I believe is where it all started, in Jerusalem and that area. I don't know what the exact area is called that the whole headquarters of the Creed started, but I know one of the cities you could visit was Jerusalem. That's not where it is, but that's generally the overall location.
Around there.
It's around that location. So, but the problem is that you're in this location so much, you would have thought there would be a lot more people that you care about, but there isn't. And the game in general isn't great, and the gameplay and the mechanics are incredibly flawed. It doesn't work. The story is pointless and a complete waste of time. You have no connection to whatever the characters are. Whoever the head assassin is, which you have to tell me the name of because just now because I forgot. What was his name? Bill or Terry or something? I actually don't know.
Steve, yeah.
Steve. But spoilers that he dies essentially, and you don't care. You really just do not care at all. And it's just because you have no connection to them.
There's no time with anyone. The time that there is like in the second game. I remember as soon as you meet Bartholomew,
yes,
he is instantly lovable. He's got the thing with his sword. He's such a memorable character. He's always saying funny shit.
Is his wife essentially.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about Ezio is the way you see things through his eyes when someone's being weird and he's like, ugh. Yeah. You know what I mean? he's super relatable. He's got the ladies' man thing going in the second game. There's always that memorable line with his brother, right, where it's like, need to fix his face, it's his only asset. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you gauge his relationship with people, you gain how people view him. He's a charismatic guy. I feel that's taken away significantly in the third game. Like the way you start, like you want more interaction with the woman.
Yeah.
And you don't really
also,
get
like
that.
another problem is that he's getting old and now he's like, pardon me, like he's really like super serious, but then still tries to be that ladies' man.
Yeah,
like,
you can't have both.
Don't do both. Either still be that ladies' man and you're just a creepy old guy, or just be super sick, like super serious. Don't do both because it's just creepy no matter what you do now.
Yeah, with him being older, like it's hard to do age transitions for characters. I think it always has to make them a bit more grizzled by what's
such
seen.
a big jump. Like when, like in Assassin's Creed 2, he's like really young. I don't know how old he technically is. I would like to say either like I'm probably like the early 20s, maybe.
Yeah, I think he starts the game like late teens and then ends it. I don't know, possibly like mid-20s. I think.
I want to say like early 20s, and then in Brotherhood it's like late 20s, maybe 30s.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I'm doing this at the top of my head. But then in Revelations it jumps to like 40. Or at least that's what he looks like.
He looks older than Joel does in The Last of Us.
Like, he just looks old. And I get that. And I feel like there should be some sort of progression with that. Like, I don't know if you've seen... Is it Skyfall?
Yeah.
Where James Bond now is now struggling. And he knows about it. And he's trying to get, like, his reflexes and his stamina back up. And he knows he's getting old. And... none of that, as far as I can remember, I could be wrong, this could be a complete waste of time, but as far as I remember, none of that progression. He's still able to do everything he can do, like 20 years later. And it's like, no, but at some point,
there should have been a feel of he may be the
shootings you've had.
character.
Yeah, or stabbings and the shootings, or the probably fucking women you've banged. It all just takes, it should just take away from you at that point. You should not be as energetic or have as much stamina as you do that you did have 20 years ago, or maybe longer than that. It's just you get no connection because he feels like he's just an immortal at this point. You just feel like, yeah, you just can't die. Like, there's no sense of urgency with the character that, oh shit, he's getting old, he needs to find this quick before something happens to him. It's just none of that. And the simple fact that this random Italian woman now, who's the only other Italian woman in the entire fucking city on both sides of the fucking river.
I love how that's the sole thing. Really takes
seriously, that honestly makes me frustrated with this character. Is that he senses and he just randomly stumbles and comes across one Italian person. And it just so happens to be female, and it just so happens to be a possible love interest. I don't know why. Why did there have to be that? Why couldn't it just been a local woman that he finds? Like, this isn't based on historical fucking events. It doesn't have to be...
It is a bit weird that they take the filler game to try and wrap up Ezio's story.
Because that's what it is. You've described it perfectly. It is a filler game.
Well, nothing happens with Desmond, and that's apparently the main story going on, although I feel like Assassin's Creed have completely forgotten about this whole future thing going on.
Desmond, your whole thing of where it said, my name is Desmond Miles and this is my story, is a complete lie.
What a bollocks.
You know nothing about him. At all. You just know that his dad's a dick. That's it.
What you do learn is inconsequential.
Pretty much. And the simple fact that he's sacrificing himself for literally no apparent reason. And then I think the woman's name is Lucy, who turns out to be the other assassin. And then it turns out it's like a double agent.
And then a triple agent, and then a quadruple agent. She's no idea what's going on with her.
And then it just turns into that guy from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull that I can't remember his name of now. It just turns into like a double and triple agent or something. It's really like working for the Templars, who's now working with the Assassins, who's now working back with the Templars. It's weird. But Ezio in Revelations is a complete waste of time. The game itself is a complete waste of time. In every way, shape, and form, the existence of Ezio Auditore in Assassin's Creed Revelations, and I'm not probably even saying his fucking name right, but I couldn't give a shit, because it's supposed to be a complete waste of time. It's a filler game that shouldn't be a filler game.
it's just amazing how much it doesn't progress anything at all.
They
It
could
doesn't
have
add to
easily
the
take,
lore.
like, the
All it does
beginning,
is give you holes to punch through
put
it.
the beginning half and the end, like the beginning bit and the ending bit, and then just sort out whatever the fuck happens in the center. The beginning of it with him arriving, sure, that's fine. With him ending it, finding Altair, fine. This the central bit. How he gets from the beginning to the end needs fixing. I'm happy with him deciding to go on a long fucking voyage to Jurassic Park. I'm happy with him going on a voyage and ending looking for Altair. I'm happy with that being his beginning goal. I'm happy at the end of the game where... excuse me. I'm happy at the ending of the game where he finds Altair. Happy with that. But like I said, it's just that central piece of how he gets from point A to point B. That's the problem I have, and how he got there. It frustrates me. It really does frustrate me to the point like, what is going on anymore? I have no love for Ezio. My love for Ezio is gone. Especially the simple fact that it's such a love from him and the game from Brotherhood. I was so happy with the game. Because it was almost a perfect game. The only reason I could probably improve it is just to make it look better. And even at that time, it was a beautiful looking game. There was, at least from when I was playing it, there was no graphical glitches, there was no gameplay glitches, buggy once or twice with some of the combat stuff, sure. But that was when you decide to go fucking apeshit with a guy, fighting like 20 people with a broom.
That was my favourite part of the game. Just
like,
a spoiler.
That's the only time it would glitch out, is when you picked up a fucking broom and decide to fight 20 armoured guys and then decide to win all of it, and the broom happened to be the most powerful weapon in the game. Like, that was fine. Brotherhood was almost a perfect game. It was Revelations, how it's supposed to be better and yet worse. In both story and gameplay, in every way, shape and form. It was just a worse game. And then I'm not even going to talk about Assassin's Creed 3, because that just frustrates me even more.
We're going to talk about that later, by the way.
That can be a completely different subject for a completely different video. It's Assassin's Creed 3. In fact, that could be the part of the game we talk about next. Because the game we're going to talk about this week, as I end that subject and go on to this last little piece that I want to talk about, as I've just realised looking at the audio recording, we're going for 52 minutes, is Outlast.
I would like to just say that transition was fucking smooth as ass cheeks.
I'm getting there slowly. I'm picking up the hosting. It's great. Outlast. Now, this is a subject that, again, you wanted to talk about, and this is something that I could probably add to if I'm intelligent enough to do it, which I doubt it, because I'm an idiot. However, I want to know first what in particular in Outlast frustrates you, and if I can add anything else, I will, because this is mainly, again, your subject.
Okay, I know we've kind of got a weird horror game vibe from me at the moment.
Yeah.
This will develop more as we go on. No, Outlast, it's not a bad game inherently. It's not even a game I actively dislike that much. I think it's just a game that I felt was like hugely disappointing.
Yeah.
Like Outlast. Okay, how much spoilers am I allowed?
I mean, I'm gonna actually give me a sec. I'm gonna actually have a look when Outlast was released, because if it was released more than, I want to say 2 years, I think
I'll give a little spoiler before I throw stuff up like that.
Outlast. Let's have a look. Outlast 1. It was released in 2013 on, Microsoft.
So around 4 years ago.
Around 4 years ago. So I think we're going to be okay for spoilers. So you just go all
out. Before I spoil anything, I'll give up a little spoiler and then, I don't know, skip ahead and hope I'm not still talking about it. So, like the crippling problem for me for Outlast was the ending. Now, I know that you're going to go, oh, well, Whistleblower fixed it. It didn't fix it. It was just better. Like, there was no fixing the ending of Outlast. So, spoiler alert, skip about, I don't know, fucking 10 minutes, probably. Because I fucking hate it. Is, just that you die. The whole thing of you're a journalist working your way through this facility and you fucking die at the end. What was the point of the whole game? You didn't really solve anything because okay, you kill the entity, Billy, or whatever it is that you want to fucking call it. You think you've killed it at least. you know, whatever, you think it's defeated, you're there bloody and battered from falling down 40 million times, having your fingers cut off, and I don't know, wanking into a flannel for every time you hide under a bed, hoping no one smells your cum. And then you go all the way through all this shit. You've got your camera still, you're battered, you're bruised, but you're on your way out of the facility, and you're thinking, fuck yeah, not only have I, you know, survived the night, I've also fixed the problem. And I've got it all documented on my infinitely fucking awesome camera with night vision that does not work like that. So, no problem there, right? Until the point of where, as soon as you get to the door for your escape, you get gunned down. Now, being gunned down, I think I almost see what they were going for. Of like, oh, and this way no one will know, so we can have a sequel. No, right? Fuck off with that. What it just means everything you did up to that point was inconsequential.
Yeah.
Because as soon as like you've been gunned down, the spirit of Billy or whatever the fuck was going on, fucking spirit of Billy Idol comes out and fucking just kills everyone after you're done. Like, you can hear all the screaming and saying, "Oh, it's there," and all this bullshit. And it's like, well, I'm really glad that whatever I did amounted to nothing. I died at the end, so no one's going to know my fucking story. My life is fucking shit because after all this, you know, no one's going to know what's going on. My family have no fucking clue where I am. Like just nothing mattered. It's not even the fact that it's a downer of an ending. It's like, why make a game like if by the end nothing of what you did had any consequence?
Just because you feel like you've wasted your time then.
Precisely. It's not that you feel like you wasted your time. By account of the game, you've wasted your time. And it's nothing more aggravating than for something to be like, ha ha ha, got you. Like, it's just unsatisfying on every fucking level. Ugh. And it's such an easy fix because they did so with Whistleblower. Like, Whistleblower to also spoil this. I don't know, skip another fucking 10 minutes. So with Whistleblower, you escape. You escape in the fucking Jeep that Miles arrived in.
Yeah, you do, don't you? I forgot about that.
And this fucking... that's a really great callback. I love the idea that then after that, you know, then you've got whoever these, what I assume to be government people are probably, are they're like, yeah, if you fucking send this email or whatever, saying, we're like documenting everything you saw, it's going to ruin everything and you're going to be on the run for your rest of your life and no one in your family or anything is going to be safe. That's a great ending. It's morbid just as much as the first one is, only it has closure. You've fucking told the world about what you've seen and what you've done. The fact that this character's not even a journalist. Like you said, you're just a whistleblower. You're a person working there who just disagreed with everything. You Edward Snowden the shit out of that place. And that's fucking awesome. That's such a brilliant idea for an ending. That's what should have happened at the end of Outlast. Because it mattered. It means that everything that you went through, all the fucking hardships of nearly getting sawn in fucking half, meant something.
Yeah.
It's such a simple idea, but having you die at the end and going, ha ha ha, solved nothing, cunt, doesn't actually make me want to play your fucking game. Now, the other thing about Outlast that I wanted to discuss, like, because Outlast as a game has a lot of things that bother me. So, in terms of gameplay mechanics, Outlast 2 seems to be trying to solve this, but I don't think it will. It had the thing of, basically, you're faster than everything chasing you.
Yeah.
So if you just run around a table, wait to see which way they're coming and run the other way, you've won every encounter in the game. There was never much of a, at least for me, maybe it's just because I'm a genius and figured that out immediately. I don't know. that comment made me feel like such a dick. But
a Rantcast as well.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse from here. There's nowhere to go but down for us. No, but back to my point. I really need to find a way to transition better. But it's just a thing of, it's not even that you're overpowered, it's that you don't have any powers other than the ability to run away. And it's not very tense. I distinctly remember when the doctor who cuts your fingers off is chasing you around. I specifically remember like trying to figure out where I was going, and just every time he came near me, I just run around some more. It just became tedious. It wasn't difficult. It wasn't tense or scary. I was like, can you fuck off for a minute, mate? While I just solve something. Which, speaking of solving, leads me on to what I'm going to say is something I can say for a lot of games, but in Outlast it sort of annoyed me especially, right? Puzzles.
Right.
I would very much have liked some.
Okay. Well,
it's all well and good for you to say find 3 key cards, turn on 3 valves, fuck yourself 3 times, whatever. It's not a puzzle. Same as a lot of people with a lot of dungeon crawler sort of games go, well, looking for a certain thing in a room isn't a puzzle. I would have liked something to solve an Outlast. I don't know, like maybe it's because I played The Evil Within shortly after, and that had some pretty good puzzles.
Right.
But it sort of feels like Outlast's missing a huge gameplay element. If I'm powerless in terms of combat, at least let me use my mind.
Yeah.
Like, give me something to solve. Yeah, precisely. And like, I do like the collectible system of Outlast. I like, every time you use your camera and take notes and you get to see what your character's thinking.
Right.
I love that. I really appreciate all the little notes that give you sort of things, even if it does boil down to Nazi experiments. Something that if you put in your fucking game, prepared to be called a boring cunt, because that is the easiest way to go about shit. If Wolfenstein has done your idea, right, take your piece of paper with your story and reassess. Because it's not original, it's not interesting, and it's been done way better by like 1,000 other different things. Don't do Nazi experiments, basically.
Yeah.
Think of something a bit more original. I would have rather have had that just be like, we discovered it via science, or I don't know, we were built on top of a fucking haunted burial ground. It works far better than Nazi experiment. It's just a cop-out at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I was just looking now, and apparently Whistleblower came out in 2014. So a year.
Well,
a year.
I reckon Whistleblower, personally, I think it was a purely made as... Because Red Barrel Games, the developers, like, they seem to really do a good job of taking note of what people do and don't like.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing of, in Outlast 2's demo, of you run out of breath like a fucking 6-year-old with asthma. Like, I quite appreciate that. It means that enemies permanently have an advantage. You've got to scuttle away as stealthy and... I don't know, it seemed to add a whole new layer of depth.
You got to do, like, more rapid moving.
You move from cover to cover. You permanently have an eye on your surroundings, and it's tense.
Yeah,
because at any minute, if you're spotted and you don't make that quick getaway, your heart's pounding.
Yeah,
you'll lose.
In Outlast 1, I found myself more hiding in one place, waiting for an enemy to walk by, sprinting for about 5 minutes and getting chased, and then as soon as I go around a corner, immediately hiding somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then,
I never used the beds in Outlast either. I never hid under a bed. I hid in a locker when it made me.
Yeah.
Like, I never found reason for hiding when running was just really a better option, because then at least I knew where they were, which is behind me.
It's just almost in a bad mechanic, because you are just doing the same thing over and over again. You're not constantly rapid moving to cover. You're not hiding constantly. Like I said, you're hiding in one place, waiting for an enemy to go by who's just chased you, running for another 5 minutes, getting chased, turning a corner and quickly hiding in a locker or something. There's a really short animation, so you can get in quick. To then just wait for him to come by, check the locker next to you, let him walk off, getting chased for another 5 minutes, to hide again. That's what.
Yeah, I never liked him checking the locker next to me thing either. It didn't have me on the edge of my seat. I was just like, well, fucking retard, who only checks one locker.
Because as soon as it happens once or twice, you know exactly what's going to happen. So, oh shit, he didn't see me, but I guess he's going to check the locker. And the only time they'll check the locker you're in is if they saw you go in it. And if that's the case, then it should be every now and again. Like that fucking massive guy who's chasing you for half the game. If not all the game, I can't remember.
He chases you for towards the end and at the beginning.
Yeah, it's all of it, because I think in Whistleblower he dies. I don't think he dies in the original first game.
No, he saves you, I think, in Whistleblower almost.
I think so, yeah. He dies. I can't remember how he dies, but he dies in Whistleblower. So you didn't even get to fucking kill him in the first game.
But it's not a matter of killing him either. It's just a thing of,
the thing is that
having some kind of
defense,
defense,
why he only checks one locker or checks in one area, because he's kind of a dumbass. And I guess that's his point. He's supposed to be that dumb henchman.
But that's like, if you read up on the things in the game as well, he's also not that. Like, you find out he was like a veteran in like Iraq and shit. And, like, he had PTSD, so he's not even fucking stupid. Why is he only checking one goddamn locker?
And then, but you see, but it makes sense if like the doctor who cuts your finger off, if he checked it's like, it'll make sense for him to check every like bathroom stall.
Yeah,
that you're in, because he's intelligent with it. He knows what the fuck's going on. He's smart with it. Obviously, sure, he's lost his fucking mind, but he's still smart about his surroundings. So it makes sense. But to have every single major or major / minor boss, quote unquote, to just check one area, no matter who they are or what personality they are, it's dumb. And it doesn't make any sense. It's feel like they just repeated the same thing over and over again instead of putting a little bit more detail. Because that little detail, you get a little bit more personality about every single little boss. Like the doctor who cuts your finger off. You're like, oh shit, this guy's checking every locker. Fucking hell, this guy's thorough. And you just know that little bit more about him. Okay, so he's real, just like on it. He's on that shit, and he's very particular how he wants it.
It'd be cool if you've got a bit more of the original Alone in the Dark. Like, if you hid in the wrong area, checks that, it doesn't matter, you die because you didn't think better than the computer would think. You know, maybe you were supposed to hide under a bed than in a locker, because he will check all the lockers. He won't check under a bed. Maybe he'll, you hide behind some curtains and then realize that's a stupid idea. He'll probably see my feet, and he does something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, have things that I'm sure people will complain lead to insta-death, but that's the kind of thing, like, that you also appreciate the realism for.
Yeah, it's a trial and error game.
Yeah, it would also make your fucking game way longer. And look at you, Outlast 2's fucking short ass fucking download. Oh, Outlast 2, for all that I say, can I talk about Outlast 2? How much it just ripped off Fear?
Oh yeah.
So when I downloaded Outlast, among taking 1,000,001 fucking on a PlayStation, it was like the longest download for a game I beat in less than 6 minutes. So the weird supernatural stuff, like, I get that we don't know anything about Outlast 2 yet, really.
Yeah, not
like, they've tried to keep it as hush as possible, and that's fine because obviously it's a horror game doing big reveals now. But the weird tongue thing that sucks you down the well, I laughed instead of making me jump. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Flashbacks to Dead Space.
Yeah, do you know what? It just reminds me of a bunch of better horror games. Like, the school section was ripped straight out of Fear 2.
Yeah.
Like, fucking fully. If anyone's looking for like a great horror game, Fear 2 is like what a lot of horror games seem to steal shit from. One of my favorites. But it is this bizarre thing of, like, 'cause I don't want to rag on Outlast 2 because I am actually quite looking forward to it because it does look like it's going to fix a lot of stuff. But I want more puzzles to solve. I want more to do than just run away from stuff.
Yeah.
A lot more of the subtlety. Like, that was the best thing about the first game, were the subtle little things. Like, you occasionally look over, you'll see a light turn out in another part of the asylum, and you're just like, shit, what's going on over there? Or when you're rolling up and you're looking for things going on in the windows. Just all the little details are what make that game creepy. It's not all the big moments. I mean, fair enough, being strapped to a table with someone trying to saw you in half. Pretty fucking terrifying. Yeah, I will admit.
Trying to turn you into a woman and stuff a baby inside you. Like,
that whole point there
that bit
was freaky to me. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I played both Outlast games on my own, and I thought Whistleblower was far better.
Like, Outlast 1 was okay. There was never a time I got scarily creeped. But in Whistleblower, it was genuinely the same until I got to that bit. Until I got to the bit where you were in, and obviously you were scurrying around in between all of like the little small sections, and then you ended up with that guy who just really wanted a wife. And
you see, I found his dialogue to be really fucking creepy.
Because they're like, darling, and they're like, oh god, no.
It's like, I get it, I'm insatiable, but come on, man. You know what I mean?
It's like, god damn, I have a nice ass, I get it.
Stop staring at my rack and pay attention to me as a woman.
Eyes up here, dickhead. But yeah, that bit generally was probably the only bit out of Outlast 1 and Whistleblower combined, that genuinely scared me. Especially when I got put on the table and the saw started going. And they're like, no. Oh, God,
It was
no.
one of the very few sections of a game where I was like, I don't know how I'm getting out.
And that guy who's already been cut in half pretty much tackled him.
But it's just one of the things of a game that I see so much potential in. I see so much opportunity, and it just occasionally squanders it. Like I said, I don't dislike Outcast. It just has things that, in the very unlikely event that someone at Red Barrel sees this, if you guys do an Outlast 3, take heed, please. Like, put some cool puzzles in, something to solve.
Put more effort into the little moments.
Yeah, precisely. Don't as big and grandiose as Outlast can be. Have you played Outlast 2's demo?
I have, yeah.
So you got to the ending where everyone's like, "Oh, it's the scariest bit because you get your penis pickaxed."
Hammered.
Now I know that everyone's like, "Oh yeah, every guy in the room fell." Now, I've watched a lot of horror films. I've engaged in a lot of horror.
You've
For
seen
me,
a lot of male crotches being taken
yeah,
away.
It was a thing for me where it's like, that's a very interesting call to quite a lot of classic horror. Like I thought it was quite interesting. Didn't get me personally. Got balls of steel. So, but I thought the best part of the demo was just looking around the environment. I really loved. Now this is a weird thing to say out loud.
Because you're in the fields, aren't you?
Yeah, that was the part that I loved. As soon as you're in that field, that is when the game became fucking 300 times more intense.
Yeah,
because there is a fucking search party with lights. Exactly. Every time I saw someone, I was like, nope, 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 wanting to ball my eye out.
Guessing yourself because in between all of like the leaves, you could just see like, oh shit, is that someone? You're just starting to get paranoid.
That's a key thing for horror games: is make the enemies intimidating, make them scary, make them a force to be reckoned with.
Make every singular human being terrifying. Don't have it where like, oh, this is just a random minion. Like, no, make that random minion feel like he can fuck your shit up. Make that one random guy who's called Jeffrey destroy you. Even if he can't. Even if he just walks up to you and pimp slap you and just pimp slap him back 14 times harder. Make him feel like he can kill you in one hit. Make every person, I mean every single person, whether you've
got to feel underpowered.
Yeah,
you've got to feel,
even if you're on like a one versus one scenario or 1 versus 15 scenario, make sure that every single enemy you come across is a force to be reckoned with, and then you will just feel so hopeless. That's how you create a real terrifying experience, along with everything else. The atmosphere, the location, the gameplay, the mechanics, everything that you come across. But if you are outnumbered, even if you're versing one guy who you have no idea how strong he is, and it's a new type of enemy, that's how you're going to feel terrified. Every time you come across a new enemy that you have no idea what his weakness is, how you can kill her, he, she, whoever, it's just going to be like, okay, shit, there's going to be that slight little panic moment, and the longer you can make that panic last, the better. Because it's going to put you on the edge of your seat. You don't know how to get rid of it, you don't know how to control it. And that's what's going to be truly terrifying, which is hopefully what we can only expect from Outlast 2.
I'm really looking forward to Outlast 2. I'm hoping we won't have to return to it in this kind of format.
Well, it depends on how good or bad it is, because if it's worth ranting about, we will rant about it.
I really hope it's not. I really hope it's great.
We hope we don't have to have it on this episode. But, yeah.
Ideally, the Rantcast would not exist. But...
Truly. But then again, obviously with stuff going on in the industry and stuff going on in games in general.
Peter Molyneux.
Hopefully... I completely forgot what you just said then. I disagreed with you. Hopefully... this can keep going, and obviously mistakes are going to be made, which is why we're here to talk about it, because then we can just give someone to rant on while we're angry about it. But I'm going to probably wrap it up here, because we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes, so, or an hour and 14 minutes, so I have 40 seconds to wrap this up perfectly. If you guys like this, I know it's in a different style as the original Rantcast, but this is just something that me and Corey would like to try, because I would like to bring the Rantcast back, since every now and again people do mention it to us, about if we're going to be bringing it back. This is only a test episode, so it may come back in a different style. Again, we're just testing it. This isn't going to be the final outcome of it all. If you guys like this type of episode where we go for a little bit longer, like more like a podcast, I like the various subjects, then let us know. If you guys would prefer shorter episodes covering one topic, then let us know. Also, your feedback would be gratefully helped. That did not make any sense, but I'm going to go with it anyway. It's coming up to about 5 to 11, and I'm kind of tired and I have work tomorrow. So, yeah, feedback would be greatly appreciated, depending on the different style we do it on. We also don't know how many we're going to be doing this, if this is going to be a one video a week occasion, or once a month, once a fortnight, whatever. But again, this is something that you guys, the audience, can always give us some feedback on. I love this. I genuinely just like talking about shit, especially when me and Corey are bantering about stuff. It's great. Because we've been doing this for fucking God knows how long.
This has been going on for like nearly 10 years.
Oh, this is almost 10 years of our friendship. We've just been talking about random shit. And if I could record every single conversation we've ever had, I would love to. Because that's about a lifetime worth of content right there, I think.
That's a lot of stuff the public could never openly see.
Yeah. And it'd be absolutely fucking amazing. However, we might as well start now. So, yeah. In the videos and when this gets put on Facebook, I will try my best to ask, because I don't do it personally, but whether it be on the video or if we're just going to upload this in audio form, if we can get Corey, who's also known as the Condescending Bear on Twitter, he's also doing his own YouTube stuff as well, and a close personal friend of mine, and hopefully can do this more often with me if you guys would like to do so. Over time also, we would like to get more streams going as well. Not really deciding on when we can do it, but this is something that me and Corey want to do some co-op games about as well. Corey's also doing his own little individual stuff as well, so it'd be awesome to check that out. And we'll put all his description stuff wherever he is.
If you've watched this long and don't enjoy me, I salute you. So.
It's an honor. But yeah, we'll put all of his accounts in the description, YouTube, Twitter, and all that fun stuff. Also the Twitch. And yeah, so thank you guys for listening. Your feedback is much welcome. And we hope to be doing this again maybe next week or the week after. Or, tomorrow. Whatever, really. Well, not tomorrow, because today is a Sunday and we're technically maybe Monday tomorrow. But anyway, we will see you guys soon. Goodbye.
Most excellent. Goodbye.